everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time we're going to be doing a Valentine's Day set and of course a fill-in. So as you can see, this set was actually on for 3 weeks and everything stayed on really good and they still look pretty good. So first thing we're doing is we're going in with a pair of nippers to remove the bling. As you can see, even the pearl stayed on like super good. I was even having a hard time trying to take them off, so I ended up having to file the rest at the end. So once I finish removing all of the bling, I'm going to go in with a coarse drill bit, which is a safety one because remember, since it is coarse, it's easy to cut someone. So you want to make sure that you're using a safety one. That way you don't have any accidents. And we're just going to be removing all of that gel polish. Of course, we're just filing all of the nail to remove the gel polish. And of course, if you're using regular nail polish, then you would just simply go in there with a cotton ball and nail polish remover to remove the polish. After that, I'm going in with my Tammy Taylor Peel and Stick Cuticle Pusher, and we're just going to push those cuticles back And I just love this cuticle pusher because the little tabs at the tip are replaceable, so you switch it out after each client, and it's really convenient, especially, you know, to help prevent from spreading any type of germs. You just literally take the little tab off after each client. And after that, I'm going in with a sanding band. This is a 180 sanding band. As always, also remember to switch that out after each client, and we're just using this to remove the shine from the natural nail. You do want to make sure that you take your time at doing this, because if you don't remove the shine from the natural nail properly, you will get lifting. Just yesterday, in one of my comments on one of my videos, someone was asking, she said that they used the same nail glue as me, which is the KDS glue, but her nails were still lifting. And it doesn't matter, like the glue doesn't really matter. If your nails are lifting, most likely they're not getting the shine off the natural nail really good, or they're not following the acrylic around that cuticle area good enough, which is going to cause your nails to lift. So again, if you're having problems with lifting, make sure that you take into consideration how good you're removing the shine from the natural nail, and also how good you're following the acrylic afterwards. But anyways, once we remove the shine, I'm just going ahead and applying the primer. You do want to make sure that you dust the nails off before you apply the primer, and I'm using my OPI Bondex. After that, we're going to go ahead and apply the acrylic. I'm using my Mia Secret acrylic system in the color pink, which is a translucent pink. And then I'm also going to be using my Mia Secret Cover Rose, which is going to be for those ombre nails that I did. And then, of course, I'm going to go ahead and encapsulate those as well with the Mia Secret Pink. And then for my brush, I'm using my Alpha brush in a number 9. As you guys know, I just love their brushes so much. They work really good and they're really affordable compared to other prices. And the good part about it is that I have a promo code for them, which is Natalie10. I'll be sure to leave the link in the description as well as the promo code. But again, that is the Alpha brush in an oval shape, and it's a number 9. And I do recommend that if you are a beginner, you start off with like a smaller brush, like a number 8 or 9, and then work your way up to a bigger brush as you get a little bit better. Just because it's better to start with a small one, just because you get better control of your product. That way you're not just grabbing a big bead and then it's all over the cuticle area. With that smaller brush, you just pick up smaller beads and then you can control your product a lot better. And even me, that I've been doing nails for quite a while now, I still prefer to use a smaller brush. That's just my preference, but I know that there's people that learn how to do nails with bigger brushes, so whatever works for you is fine. But as always, when we're doing a fill, we just place that bead closer to the cuticle area, pat it down, brushing it gently down towards the tip. And that's something that's really, really important. Again, like you see here, I place the bead, pat it down to where like I'm moving it closer to the cuticle area, and then really gently I brush it down towards the tip. I'll go back and add another one, but you do want to remember to keep into consideration, like to look at the nail from different angles to see if you need to add more acrylic, because you can just add one and you're fine. But if the nail is still really, really flat, then of course you go back and add some more. But every time you see me lift the finger like that, that's me checking the nail from the side to see if I need to add more acrylic. So I'm going to show you here again. So you place the bead closer to the cuticle area, pat it down, and then brushing it down towards the tip, making sure that you clean around that cuticle area. Add more acrylic where it's needed, but it's really, really important that you brush that acrylic really gently, because if not, all of that acrylic would just go down towards the tip and you're going to have a really thick nail at the tip and then really thin at the back closer to the cuticle area, and then that's where your lifting will come from and your breakage, because you have to have a good apex, which is at the back closer to the cuticle area. If it's too thin, if your nail is like literally just flat, your nail will break off super easily. So make sure that you have a good stress area. So after I finish applying the acrylic, we're going to go ahead and reshape the nails. So as you can see, they're already that coffin shape that we want, but we have to go back and redefine that shape, because once we apply the acrylic, it takes away from that shape. And also, since we're doing a feel after 2 or 3 weeks of her wearing the nails, it might, do some wear and tear on the tips to where it look a little bit rounded. So we have to go back and reshape. So, when we're doing the coffin, we follow the sides at a 45-degree angle and the free edge at a 90-degree angle. And the free edge is literally the very tip of the tip here. As you see here, right here, that's the free edge. We file that at a 90-degree angle. Make sure that your file is super straight when you're doing this. And then also look at the nail when you're filing. That way you can see the shape, changing. Because I know I've seen people doing it and like they're literally just filing and not paying attention. And then that's how you file more on one side and it'll be crooked. So again, 45-degree on both sides. And then 90-degree on the free edge, which is the very tip of the nail. And that's going to give you that perfect coffin shape. But keep in mind that you have to pay attention to when you're filing, because I promise you will be able to see your shape change. So just file on both sides until you see that, it's even on both sides, and then do the free edge. But anyways, after that, we're going to go ahead and go in with the e-file, and we're using a fine drill bit, and we're just making sure that all of the nails are nice and smooth with this and nice and even. And then also, of course, filing around that cuticle area to make sure that it's really sealed. That way we don't get any lifting. As always, we start on the right side, going over to the left side, just going back and forth until you're able to see where the cuticle is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. That way you know that the acrylic is not on the skin. And I can tell you for sure that when you start doing nails, this is probably going to be the hardest thing to do, is prevent lifting. Lifting is going to come from either not prepping the nail correctly, your tips being too big or too small, or not doing this step correct and not sealing that cuticle area. So basically, if you're getting lifting, you're just going to have to, kind of do a process of elimination. Like, okay, I'm applying the right size tip, so that's not it. I'm prepping the nail really good, so that's not it. So it must be, me not filing around the cuticle area really good. or you have an acrylic on the skin. So it's gonna take a little bit for you to realize, you know, what you're actually doing wrong, and then for you to actually perfect it, or not even just perfect it, because nothing is ever gonna be perfect. You might still get lifting every now and then, you might have a nail break every now and then. It's never gonna be perfect, but you know, as time goes by, you're gonna find what you're doing wrong. You're gonna be able to correct what you're doing wrong, and then that's just how you get better. But it's never going to be perfect. Even now, sometimes in the comments I see people talking about how maybe one nail might be crooked, how I'm missing polish on the side, how one nail is too long and the other one's too short. You know, it's always going to be something, but it's just impossible for you to always just catch any little thing that's wrong with the nails. So I mean, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, but you know, it's a kind of like a trial and error, and next time you know that you need to do this differently, and next time you know that you can do this, and you can, you know what I'm saying. But it's going to take a little bit of work for you to finally get where you want to be. And that's for everyone, whether you're just starting, whether you've been doing nails for a while. Because also another thing is that, you know, it's different techniques coming out every day, different trends, different everything. And basically in the nail industry, or not even just the nail industry, but like even with hair, like it's different things coming out that you have to stay on top of it. So it's not even just learning, you know, the basics, but you're still learning something new every day, every week, every month. There's always something new to learn. So don't get discouraged, and just, you know, practice, and you're gonna get better as time goes by. But anyways, whenever we finish filing the nails with the fine drill bit, we're gonna go ahead and buff the nails. And I actually ran out of buffers like literally yesterday, so I went to the nail supply store and it was freaking closed. So I went ahead and ordered me some more online, because there's no telling if the store was going to have any. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and buff them. As you guys know, this is just to get rid of any of the scratches left on your nail from the e-file or your hand file. And then as you can see, I always run my thumb over the top of the nail to see if it's smooth. If not, I go back and buff some more. But this set will be a Valentine's Day set, so you will see me using that reddish and pinkish color, which the set's going to turn out really pretty. But once we finish buffing the nails, I'm going to go ahead and just dust them off, wipe them off with an alcohol wipe, and after that you can either go have your client wash their hands, or like I said, wipe them off. And then after that, we're just going to apply the polish. Alrighty, so the first color that I'm going to be using is this Madam Glam gel polish in the color Angel Wings, and Fiery Fuchsia by D&D. They're both gel polishes. So first one is the pink one by Madam Glam. I'm just drawing a heart, which is going to be clear in the inside, and then we're going to just do all pink around the hearts, and then we're going to come back and outline that with the bling. And then this is just a small nail art brush. These are the same ones that I had on my website. Yes, it is still down for restocking. It will be up pretty soon, so I'll keep you guys updated on that. Next, I'm going to go ahead and just polish this middle finger all red. Again, this is in the color Fiery Fuchsia, which is a really pretty red. And actually, when I bought this color, I was trying to find a color that was really close to the Dragon Fire by La Palme, because you guys know that that was just my favorite gel polish and I ran out not too long ago, so I've been looking for something really similar to that one. And for this index finger, I actually was trying something new this time. As you guys know, whenever I do my ombre nails, I do like a pinkish base. Well, I used a regular base coat for that one, for the index finger, to see if it works. And then for this pinky, it's going to be a marble nail, so I'm just doing a white base. And this is Perfect White by Madame Glam. And to clean around the cuticle area, I am using my French brush by Alpha brush in a number 6, so I'll leave that link in the description as well with the 10% promo code, which is Natalie10. And as you can see, for the index finger, the reason why I did a base coat was because whenever I'm doing the ombre, I feel like when you put something underneath it, it just helps the polish stick. That's what I meant to say. It helps the polish stick. But as you can see, that pink is not, you know, as bright as I wanted to. So I really should have just did like that light pink that I usually do. That way it makes it pop. And then there's also people that use white underneath, but I just feel like that's way too thick. So that's why I try to use like a really sheared pink. And then for this one, I'm using some little heart glitter pieces by Coco Glitter Belle, and I believe she said these are already sold out, but she did have other Valentine's Day glitters, but her Instagram is Coco Glitter Bells. And I'm just applying these over the gel top coat. So I did a layer of the gel top coat, and then I'm just picking them up with the tip of my little cleanup brush, and I'm just doing like, you know, a little swirl, I guess. And then I'm gonna come back and do another layer of that ombre. As you can see, that pink is getting a little bit brighter, and this is just a tip, so I'm gonna go back and clean up that smile line. Again, this is my French brush in a number 6 by Alpha brush. So I'm going to let that hand cure for 30 seconds, and I'm going to do basically the same thing on this hand. We're just going to switch the fingers around a little bit. So as you can see, I learned my lesson about the ombre nail on the other hand. So I'm going to switch back over to that light pink that I usually do, which is like an opaque pink. That way my colors just pop more easily. And then I'm going to go in with that same Fairy Fuchsia by D&D. I'm going to do that one on this ring finger. And then I'm just going to do the rest of the colors, which will be the pink one and then the white for the marble.
Evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
I'm going to let this one cure for another 30 seconds. And then I went ahead and did another coat of that ombre nail on this one. And so I'm just going back and cleaning up that smile line. And then as you can see, I found some little lips that I had from like a while back, so we're going to be applying those on the nails. But for now, I'm just doing that marble nail. So I just did a little bit of that same red and that pink, which is the Fury, Fuchsia, and the Angel Wings by Madam Glam. I applied that on the nail, pat it with some acetone. And as always, the acetone does not damage the gel polish unless you were just soaking the gel polish in the acetone. But we're literally just using a little bit to dab it. And then I'm going to go back in with some red, and I'm going to use the small like brush to just draw my little marble lines, and then come back with the little brush and the acetone to dab those nails. And now I'm going in and I'm going to do a second coat of each color. And then you got to be careful with this one not to get the polish inside the heart. As you can see, I already accidentally did it, but I can just go in with a small brush and just clean up the little corner where I got polish inside the clear part. For this thumb, I'm going to go ahead and do a second coat of the IBD gel top coat. And basically what I'm doing is basically encapsulating the glitter inside the top coat, if that makes sense. And then of course we're going to come back and just gently give it a buff in case, you know, there's some rough pieces. And then for this pinky, we're just going to go ahead and do a full ombre instead of just doing the tip. We're just going to do the ombre over the whole nail. As always, just apply your polish on the sponge, dab it on the nail. Don't worry about getting it on the skin, because you're going to come back and take off that excess polish with your little brush. Or if you like to use the liquid latex, you could always apply that around the nail and then do the ombre and then go back and take it off. But I like to just do this method because I honestly feel like it's faster. It might be a little bit messier, but it's faster to just go in and remove the polish afterwards. And as you can see, it's not, you know, as bad of a mess. And then you will notice that her pinky and her middle finger, I guess like she took her hand out the lamp before they were dry. So you will see the polish wrinkle up, especially the pink one. And this is what it looked like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just put her hand back under the light so it can dry, and then I'm going to come back and do a second coat. And that will happen if they take their hand out the lamp before the timer go out. So usually I cure for 30 seconds, so she took it out to, I think, show me something on her phone, or I don't even know what she was doing, but the polish did not dry, which made it wrinkle up. So that's why it's really important that you cure for the appropriate time. But anyways, now I'm just going in with my Mia Secret gel resin, my wax pencil, and then I'm applying some pink bling on this nail. It's just scattered all around. And then for this heart, I'm just doing a red outline of bling around the heart. So next, for this one, we're going to do the hard gel, and I'm going to be applying some 3D lips on it. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you where I got the lips from. They're so old, like I've had them for so long that I honestly cannot remember where I got them from. But they're just like a little pair of lips, and then they have a big pearl in the middle, and then it also had like little diamonds. And then I'm going to move on to the next nail while that one dries, or cures actually. I'm going to do the marble. So again, we do the pink and the red. And then with the small brush, we're going to come back and add the lines once I have this polished down all over the nail.
strange evolutionary process going on. But mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today.
Alright, so I applied that 3D piece, and now I'm going to go back and do a second coat of the red and the pink on this hand. And remember, you want to make sure that they leave that hand under the lamp for the appropriate time. As you can see, it cured, but it was a little bit wrinkled. But once I go back and do a second coat, you shouldn't be able to see the wrinkles. Sometimes if it's really bad, you might have to just go ahead and take it all the way off and then start back over basically with the gel polish on whichever nails wrinkled up. But again, what you can do is just put it back under the light, let it cure, and come back and do a second coat, and then that should basically fill in the little wrinkles. But after that, we're just spraying the Mia Secret Gel Resin Activator, which you guys know just dries the glue a lot faster. And then I'm just going in with my IBD Gel Top Coat and doing a top coat on all of the nails. And as I told you guys earlier, I'm basically encapsulating the glitter into the gel polish. So I went ahead and just gave it a gentle buff. That way it's not any rough edges sticking out, because if not, the glitter pieces will fall out. So I just buffed it a little bit and cleaned it off, and then I'm just doing a top coat and it will be nice and smooth. And I'm going to go ahead and place this under the light for 60 seconds. So while that hand dries, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on this hand. So instead of doing the red rhinestones around the heart, this time we're going to do the pink ones. And then we're also going to do pink bling on the red nail. And then we're going to do the hearts on the thumb.
I don't deny there's some strange evolutionary process going on. But mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
So I'm finishing up this hand with the top coat, and here is the final look. As you can see, they turned out really pretty, really Valentine's Day-ish. We got the hearts, we got the red, we got the pink, we got the lips, the ombre, the marble, and everything just looks so good together. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at GetNo32, and I'll see you guys next time.